My name is Willis Lamb, Field Supervisor of the LRTC Technical Arjanal Rescue Team in northwestern Nevada. We are an all-risks team that covers multiple counties and responds to an average of over 500 incidents per year. The purpose of this presentation is to discuss safety and operations involving trailers and towing. We tow a variety of trailers in responses to calls for service, primarily utilizing stock and panel transport trailers. In addition, our members and response partners may utilize trailers of their own. Equipment and operational safety are paramount in these operations. First, we'll cover the primary parts of a hitch assembly and their proper names. The device attached to the vehicle is called the receiver hitch, also simply referred to as the receiver. Inserted into the receiver is a drawbar, sometimes called a ball mount, to which the trailer ball is attached. The trailer has a coupler that is latched in place onto the ball. Safety chains prevent the trailer from running wild in the event there's a failure with the coupling. The drawbar or ball mount is typically offset in order to provide a level aspect of the trailer. Having a level trailer can be critical in maintaining horizontal inertial forces behind the tow vehicle to prevent porpoising and to reduce the chance of loss of control. With straight drawbars such as multi-ball drawbars, adjustable drops can be used to produce the correct ball height to provide a level combination. Drawbars must be adequately secured to the receiver with an appropriately rated pin, preferably with some form of locking device so the pin won't inadvertently come loose. Hairpins or cotter pins have been known to snag and come loose, so we prefer not to use them. Safety chains need to be loose enough to not bind on tight turns, but not be so long as to occasionally strike the pavement and cause sparks. Safety chains are always crossed to prevent the trailer tongue from digging into the pavement if the hitch uncouples. There are 3 standard trailer ball sizes. Common for the classes of trailers that we pull are 2-inch and 2 5/16 inch balls. Choosing the correct ball is critical. A 2-inch coupler will not fit onto a 2 5/16 ball, but a 2 5/16 coupler will drop onto a 2-inch ball and can come loose going down the road. Hitch sizes are clearly marked on all LRTC trailers, and we recommend marking any privately owned trailers that someone might respond to hook up to. Most of these hitches are Class 4, capable of safely towing up to 10,000 pounds. Tires are an obvious requirement for trailers, and they must be appropriate for the weight of the trailer plus its load. Trailer tires are built differently from tow vehicle tires due to the differences in suspension and loading. Tires appropriate for trailers will be indicated by ST or STX on the sidewalls, with STX being rated for higher speeds. Trailer tires are generally divided into load ranges, the most common being from load range B to load range E. Those capacities are only valid when the tires are inflated to their proper pressures. A load range E tire, inflated to only 50 pounds, would be derated to the capacity of a load range B tire. Underinflated tires can overheat and delaminate at speed. Furthermore, in Nevada, if you're stopped by highway patrol or they are investigating an accident, the capacity of your trailer is not important. What would matter are your actual tire pressures and the combined load capability of your tires in relation to the total weight of your trailer and cargo. On LRTC trailers, the proper tire pressures are clearly marked on the fenders. Tires should be maintained within 5 psi of the pressures indicated. Most trailer tires are now made overseas. They tend to delaminate after about 5 years, whether on the shelf or on the ground. All tires are required to be date coded with 4 digits indicating the week and year. This tire was made in week 51 or late December of 2007. It was retired in 2012 to prevent a breakdown. It is also important for tow vehicles to carry chains. In this image, an unexpected late-season snow squall required one of the pickups to drop its trailer and assist the others up a grade to unload horses. While on the subject, lug nuts should be periodically checked and wheel bearings repacked on a schedule. Years ago, I received a call from a gentleman who had read my trailer safety article in Trailblazer magazine. he decided to have his horse trailer professionally inspected before an interstate trip. When the trailer was raised on a lift, a wheel fell off. A bearing had gone dry and had disintegrated. We need to discuss brakes. While surge brakes can still be found, most modern trailers use electric brakes. With these brakes, an electrical current powers a magnet inside the brake drum, creating drag against the face of the drum. This drag causes the magnet to tip and actuate the brake shoes. The greater the current, the stronger the drag, and the more pressure applied by the brake shoes. The current to the brakes is regulated by a trailer brake controller, either as a built-in component in newer vehicles or by under-dash controllers. An inertial sensor applies varying voltage to the trailer brakes based on the deceleration rate of the tow vehicle. It is critical that the sensitivity adjustment on the controller is set properly. If it is too sensitive, wheels will lock up and flat spots will be worn on the tires. If it is set too low, the trailer will push the tow vehicle during serious stops. In most states, trailers are required to have breakaway braking systems. A battery, usually charged by the tow vehicle, will engage the brakes if the trailer uncouples. A wire cable attached to a switch is run from the trailer to the receiver that will activate the switch if the trailer uncouples. A critical key point is that this cable needs to be attached so that it will activate just before the safety chains go taut. This length is critical so the brakes will set, preventing the front of the trailer from whipping or the trailer from ramming into the back of the tow vehicle. With properly crossed chains and a proper breakaway cable length, the trailer will remain straight behind the tow vehicle until the combination can stop. Higher quality breakaway battery packs have LEDs that indicate the condition of the rechargeable battery. Even rechargeable batteries don't last forever, so they should be checked and changed every few years. Electrical systems in trailers can create maintenance headaches. Plugs and receptacles must be kept clean in order for the lights and the brakes to work properly. It's important that trailers and vehicle receptacles are wired according to national standards. When different trailers are hitched to different tow vehicles, all systems have to work correctly. Old trailer power cables can become maintenance headaches. Newer factory-molded cables can avoid issues such as terminals inside the plugs from coming loose or the cable from pulling out of the plug. Ideally, the cable will be connected to the trailer wiring by means of a clearly labeled terminal block, preferably one in a watertight enclosure. We run as much exposed wiring as we can in conduit or tubing to prevent abrasion, damage from brush, and animal chewing. Conspicuity is the quality of an object being highly visible, standing out from its surroundings, and easily catching an observer's attention. Conspicuity can be critical for highway safety. Other drivers need to perceive that you are present, your location, your direction and rate of travel, and when being approached from the rear, their closing speed. Recognizable profiles and clear signal and stop indications can be critical for other motorists to respond safely to your presence. All of our trailers are painted highly visible colors. They have armored clearance lamps, including ones placed at the widest points to help us guide us past objects in the dark. DOT conspicuity tape is applied to full length of trailers as it is what motorists expect to see on larger vehicles. 4-inch retroreflective tape is applied lengthwise, mid-height. The trailers also have ID stripes that match the colors applied to gear assigned to that trailer so that panels and other gear can be returned to the right trailer. The rears of our trailers include standard reflective chevrons, backup lamps, and amber auxiliary stop and turn signal lamps. The standardized chevrons help drivers estimate their closing speeds when approaching from the rear. Studies have shown that a combination of red and amber stop and turn signals are more readily recognized. These color combinations are particularly important when standard stop and turn signals have to be mounted below drivers' typical lines of sight. For white trailers, lime yellow retroreflective stripes are applied to provide visual contrast. Both types of striping are highly reflective at night. In addition, triangle reflectors are required for larger vehicles when operating after sunset, and they are also beneficial in the daytime. Well-positioned reflectors can provide significant advance warning when stopped on the roadside or in traffic. It's not enough to just hitch up and pull a trailer down the road. We often find ourselves in challenging situations. Drivers have to understand the various characteristics of the trailers that they are pulling, and they need to practice in order to become proficient. In this job, there were literally 2 inches of clearance on either side of the trailers, and we had to back 2 trailers through this opening to get the horses out. Professional grade skills are important. One skills practice involves what we call our trailer rodeo, practicing tight turns and backing through serpentines and alley docks. It's much better to strike a plastic drum than a fixed object when perfecting our skills. We use nationally recognized layouts during these practice exercises. Drivers are under no pressure to rush and can repeat the exercises until comfortable and competent. Finally, we use nationally recognized U.S. Forest Service backup protocols that include a spotter and standardized arm signals. These signals are critical as poor lighting, sunlight glare, road film on mirrors, and other issues can reduce the recognition of non-standard signals. Drivers will not back up without a spotter using proper arm signals. We allow 1 deviation from the standard. The stop signal in the slide is shown in arms crossed down low. That signal may not be so visible in front of some clothing. We also recognize crossed arms in front of our faces when needed to increase contrast. Unless nobody is present, we will always use a spotter when backing trailers and larger response vehicles when out in public. Let's review best practices. Always conduct pre-trip inspections, especially when involving hitching, proper ball size, a properly locked coupler, properly set chains, a properly set breakaway cable, and that the electrical cord is securely locked into the vehicle's receptacle. All lights should be working properly, with particular attention paid to stop and turn indications. The combination should appear level. Tires should appear appropriately inflated. Any tire that appears to be low should have its pressure checked. All doors, panels, and storage compartments should be secured. No objects should be left on fenders or the trailer tongue. When in the cab, the mirrors should be clean and the trailer clearly visible. And make sure that the tow vehicle is in proper condition for the job intended. Check road conditions. Be realistic as whether it's safe to travel. Assess risk versus rewards. Allow extra time for the run. Be realistic when providing ETAs, and don't push things if the going gets slow due to traffic or road conditions. Take in the big picture. You're not driving a sports car. It takes time to adjust to conditions up ahead, so be aware and prepare. Watch your speed. A combination requires a greater stopping distance than a passenger car. If horses are in the trailer, gradual slowdowns to traffic signals or stop signs are far less stressful. Stay in the right lane unless passing slower traffic or preparing to make a left turn up ahead. Large vehicles occupying the left lane can be irritating to other drivers, and you don't want vehicles passing you on your blind side. Allow greater following distances. Aside from the fact that some drivers can behave unpredictably, drivers behind you cannot see what's up ahead, and if you have to brake hard, you could be rear-ended. Go easy on corners. Whether hauling horses or running empty, make taking smooth corners a habit. Finally, minimize distractions. Especially when loaded, you have to be more attentive to everything going on around you. And for members not towing, don't send text to drivers who are towing or driving heavier vehicles. Make voice calls and let the Bluetooth devices allow information to be exchanged hands-free. And always remember, we can't be heroes if we're stuck on the roadside due to an accident or a breakdown. This video is provided solely for orientation and to illustrate our safety protocols that relate to trailers and towing. More specific operational details appear in other videos that address various rescue scenarios. Persons inexperienced with these operations should receive competent instruction and have sufficient practice to operate safely and confidently when under pressure. And thanks for watching this video. We hope that it has provided you with some useful material. For more information, please visit lrtcrescue.org.